Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy Ace. Coming at you guys with a very spicy deck list, in which in today's video we'll be talking about the different variants that you can run with Ace and do just fine. In this particular video, we will be talking about this build setup here that I've come up with. Let alone, let's dive into it, because I do know there's a lot of different ways you can build this leader, in which, again, this is my personal list, so if you guys enjoy a different way to play to this, let me know. In any case, we're running with 4 Radical Beams, 1 Seaquake, 3 Flame Emperors, 2 Crossfires, 3 Fire Fist, 3 Guard Point, and 3 Jet Pistol, in which Seaquake may be questionable for a lot of you, but there are a lot of things you guys don't probably understand, be it that Sakazuki is everywhere in this format, whether it's at Sim or your locals, depending on where you're playing at. Seaquake allows you to hit things such as Rebecca and Moncherie. It allows you to get rid of cards that they need to fuel their engine. Now, you can go ahead and up this if need be, depending on if your locals is full of Sakazuki players. This will help you out in that scenario. But in any case, we're running with 10 2K counters. I think running more than 10 in Ace is a little bit too much. It cuts into your events and it cuts into your other cards, be it your Marcos and your Luffy's. Now, we are running 4 Otama, which is mandatory, considering Otama allows your things like Marcos to hit a lot of cards on board, and it allows Jet Pistol to kill things like Kid. At the end of the day, we do have 2 Makino. Makino allows you to boost up your Izos and your Buggy. That's pretty much the only purpose that she has. She does serve a lot more value in things like Zoro at the end of the day, but you know, this is not a Zoro list. So if you guys choose to take these out, you can, and you can add in 2 more events. You can add in 2 Luffy's. You can go even in Marcos if you want to, or Newgates, or 1 more Ace. But for now, we do run in 2 more Makinos just to have that extra 2K counter. Jozu's are self-explanatory. You're not really going to get the rush effect off, but it's something that's searchable with Izo if need be. And speaking of which, Izo allows you to get every single card in this deck besides Radical Beam, your Guard Point, and your Jet Pistols. And of course your Makinos and your Otama, which is very solid. Usually you're able to grab your Flame Emperors here to get this going as early as possible. That way you can get double attacks in for your opponent when they're not ready for it, which is very solid. Buggy allows you to grab every other event in the list, which is self-explanatory, but an also mandatory card when it comes to Ace, considering our leader also gets value off of how many events you have in hand that you want to discard to get your leader effect to be a little bit stronger. Now, when it comes to your Marcos here, Marcos are finally back in the format. Ace pretty much, I don't want to say vanished, but we saw a lot of Ace players go away once Marcos were gone, and be it that they're back here, they're very good. Because again, playing against Sakazuki, what that leader allows you to do is draw cards every single turn, right? Discard 1, draw 1. Sakazuki is no joke. He's a very strong leader to play against. But with that being said, there are ways to play around the leader with Marco. Marco lets you do so many things that you probably don't consider, be it that when he is removed from play, i.e. Lucci. Lucci allows you to kill the Marco, right? Once the cost meets the requirement. And then you can bring back the Marco by discarding an event or discarding a Whitebeard Pirate from hand. When they come back to the board, they're rested, right? But their cost goes back to what it was originally. So we'll go back to 5. It'll go back to 4, which is pretty solid. So they'll have to attack into it to try to remove it again. But the only way you can actually get rid of this card is by bottom decking it. And a lot of Sakazukis don't have those cards readily available. But when they do, you know, it is what it is. It's Sakazuki. That's just another way to reason with Marco and why they're pretty solid in this list playing against that leader. Luffy, we run 2 of these. This is a card in which you're not going to see a lot of unless you're playing with a Nami variant in this list, which of course might be a little bit inconsistent because most Ace decks don't run a Straw Hat package. With 2 Luffy's, I think 2 to 3 is enough. As long as you guys can see this at least once or twice a game, you should do just fine in most matchups against Sakazuki. Don't get me wrong, It's still a little bit difficult to still beat that deck, but this is a card that allows you to do it because you get unblockable attacks. Other than that, we're going to dive into some games. Remember to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe for future content when it comes to One Piece. I will catch you guys in a split second. Now, before we dive into today's video, I do want to reach out and talk to you guys about a sponsor here, in which One Piece fans reached out and wanted to know if I wanted to do a little collab. And of course, I couldn't say no, because at the end of the day, we all love One Piece. And if you guys are interested in apparel, bomber jackets, hoodies, sweatpants, tanks, boxers, socks, I don't know, man, cell phone cases, backpacks, figurines, all that sort of thing, this is a very, very nice place to come and check some stuff out. And what really stood out to me, which I'm a sucker for, dude, I love figurines. No matter what, the statues, whatever you want to call it, I have so many of these from different animes. But how cute is this, man? Luffy on a pillow, which is also like a nightlight. It's so fire. You got Zoro on a 4-clover leaf. You got Brook, who's on a music note, asleep, by the way, which it's so cool, man. But other than that, you have yourself your little clothing here with your sweatshirts, your sweatpants, your varsity bomber jackets. Yeah, bomber jackets, that's right. You got your Law, your Uta. You got Frankie, you got Wano Luffy, Zoro from Wano as well. Dude, I am so excited for this. Let alone, next month, they're going to have a lot more stuff as well, so stay tuned for that. There's rugs, puzzles, nightlights, all that sort of thing here. Rugs are coming, which I'm very excited for. You got your Devil Fruits and Wanted posters. Let me show you something that's really, really unique, which I haven't really found anywhere else. I've seen Pokemon versions of advent calendars. We all have, let's be honest. But when it comes to One Piece, this is something I'm a sucker for. And for those of you out there that collect figurines and all that sort of thing, to be able to just open one of these individual boxes or doors each and every day to get a figurine, that's really cool. I mean, unfortunately, I can't wait. I kind of just break into it, but you know, each their own. But either way, here's some of the figurines that you can get inside the box, in which we will be doing a box opening here soon, so I can show you guys in real time as well. But I'm super excited for this. For those of you out there who are interested, there's a link down in the description below. But either way, without further ado, let's dive into some games here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and dive into some games here. Coming at you guys with Ace, playing into a Bello Betty, which I will tell you, this can be a difficult matchup for you, considering the fact that she can just get a lot of units on board early, and if you don't draw into your fire fists to clear the board, it can be difficult if they don't attack. So in other words, if Bello Betty just keeps playing cards to bide time to go for a one-turn KO, it can be a little bit difficult. But be it that we have a lot of cards that we play off trigger, it's very unlikely that'll happen. Speaking of which, I guess we'll take this hit. There's no other reason not to, and we can't. So, draw into a Rad Beam here. What else we got? A Marco as well. Let's just go 5, and then we'll get Marco down on the board for free. Be it we still have 4 life, but Marco is still a blocker, you know, so it's fine. Get a Smoothie down on board as well, which sucks to see, but what are you going to do? I do love to see that Bello Betty is running the event, which is very, very good in the list. I do think it's very consistent, allows you to see more Revolutionary Army cards. Be it that on those turns when you want to go for game and you have just nothing but yellow cards in hand, you can discard 1 and hopes you draw Revolutionary Army with the event, which I think a lot of people don't consider, but it adds a lot of consistency to the build setup. Went 5k at leader here. Arguably I could block it, but let's take the hit. We get a Seaquake here. We'll play Seaquake on Bello Betty, because they've got 5 Dawn left. I'd assume they want to play a card here instead of attacking with all that on leader. That's not what I thought they would play, but that's fair. I was thinking more like an Ivan or Karasu. Getting that on board right now would be pretty good for them. So they get a Morley. Now they get a Karasu from the Revolutionary Army card, which is really good. I'm trying to tell you. Throw down Morley here. We've got a pretty solid hands. So we have options to remove Morley here with Otama and Marco. Or just jet pistoling him, you know what I mean? But I think I'd rather get the Otama on board and the Marco on board, just so Marco can be a body. We'll go to see if we can clear this here, if not. We know they have Karasu in hand, so they're ready for that. So that way we can jet pistol the Karasu if need be. There we go. Much better. I don't want to swing here. I thought about it, but nah, that's okay. We'll pass it up. So they go up to 7 Dawn. And again, this would be the turn that they would play either an Ivan or a Karasu, unless they didn't draw into either of these. They get an Inazuma off of the stage by discarding a Moscato. Inazuma, Ivan. She pitches a Revo. Yep. Oh, she just goes to attack. That's a little weird. Unless she's trying to play around a jet pistol. Which is smart. Because she doesn't want the Karasu to just get blown up off a trigger here. So I don't really want to say she made a misplay or a bad play here. It's actually a pretty good idea. We can get rid of the Crossfire here. Just to go up to 6k for this fight. Which is probably the play instead of getting rid of a Jozu. Because Ivan cannot swing here. And now she plays Karasu, right? Yep. Alright, cool. Now again, you might argue that she made a misplay, but it might have been better to do it that way just in case we got a jet pistol off our trigger there. Now I think now we are forced to go for game here. So what can we do? We have 8 Dawn up. I think we Flame Emperor the Karasu. Give myself double attack and 8,000 power. And 5, 6, 7, 8. The double attack would be guaranteed here. So I think that's probably going to be the play. See what she gets here. As long as she does not get a Sanji blocker, we just win off. We win off this. All right, so she gets Akuma, 3 cards left in hand. Marco goes for 7. Yeah, fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Ace might be the Sakazuki killer. If you think about it, all the tools that we have in this deck allows us to handle this leader quite well. Instead of just being a one-sided match in which Sakazuki feels like when he plays against a lot of other decks. Be it the Flame Emperors, the Jet Pistols, the Fire Fists, it allows us to deal with a lot of his blockers on board and get in quite a bit of damage, be it our Flame Emperor allows us to hit for double attack, which is pretty solid. Also, our Buggy, being 3k, allows us to easily invest 2 Dawn to get another 5k attack each and every turn that this card stays on board. If he doesn't attack into it, he'll drop a Hound Blaze. If he drops Hound Blaze, what happens? Marco has a better chance of surviving, considering he can't bottom deck so easily. Let's take the Fire Fist here. We'll pass up turn. And I assume he removes Buggy here. Regardless if he does, we can go ahead and attack with Izo and Ace. I think the play, if he had it, would be to drop Lucci. Considering he didn't drop Lucci here, I assume he doesn't have one in hand, which is pretty good for us. Let's go 6, and then we'll go 6 and Ace as well. I'm trying to get counter out of hand here, and or life. I feel if we go 5, he'll just give us that 1k counter. I'm looking for 2s at the very least. Okay, that works as well. There's no way he takes both these hits though, right? Okay, cool. So far, so good. He's down to 2 life to R5. But we all know how these matchups can go. You can just start removing everything on board and it feels like you just can't win. I understand. But we do have 2 rush units, being Luffy and Ace right now, so we're looking pretty good. And we've got Flame Emperor for the following turn here. He's got 3 Hinas in the trash. Or Rebecca, in which he'll probably get back right now with Manchiri. Yeah, he does. Which is unfortunate. But he also has no blockers on board. So I think we go for Flame Emperor for our following turn to get 2 damage in. And then we'll pitch the Seaquake and possibly a Fire Fist or a Crossfire to go up to 10k. Let me see, hold on. He's got 6 in hand. Not bad. 2 life left. I think if we take down both of his life here, it might be a little bit scary going on for the rest of this game. I think it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. All right, let's go Fire Fist, or sorry, Flame Emperor. Remove that. We'll get rid of the Seaquake and then the Crossfire here. So this attack here is probably guaranteed. Nice. And now we have Luffy and Ace to close the game out. Sorry if you can hear the airplane outside. Apologize. There's a Rebecca. A Hina from the trash. I don't know why he decided to play Hina down. I guess considering it has no counter power, he just decides to play it. I don't know. Rob Lucci. It's a big board we got to deal with, but let's take it slow, all right? Let's take it slow. So he does have quite a bit of cards in hand, 7 cards, which I assume he might have enough counter to protect himself from Luffy. So let's go Ace then for now, and then next turn we'll drop the Luffy. We'll minus both of these, just cuz. And then we'll go 7-7. I think that's probably the play here. See what he wants to do. All right. You know what? We could have actually dropped Luffy. Look at his hand. He doesn't have enough counter power. Well played. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Come back at you guys with Ace playing into Purple Luffy, which is another fan favorite deck right now in the format, and it's also very, very scary. So hopefully we can do pretty well here. Unfortunately, we just saw all 3 of our 2Ks, be it Jozu, which we won't see for the rest of the game, so that sucks. I'm going to discard Guard Point here to not take this damage. This might be a misplay. No, wait. 4-5. Yeah, we'll do that. Because if we didn't do that, he would have probably just lawed us. And at the end of the day, I feel like I'm bad at that, and I always walk right into law. And then I discard 2 cards from my hand. So, hey, get better at it. I'm trying. You need to try too. Because law always makes you discard 2 cards when you don't think about it at the end of the day. Let's do 5 here with our Buggy, and then 7 with Ace. You want to give us 3k? Yeah, he does. Appreciate it. What do you discard there? So he trashed a kid. Okay. That's 1 kid down. There's probably 3 left in the deck if I had to guess. Got rid of a queen here. So we got 2 blockers out of his hand and that 1 exchange. We got 6 cards in hand here. We will block this if he attacks our leader. Which he should, I assume. Get rid of a Jozu. Again, trying to play around law. Magellan. Can't really play around that. We lose our Dawn. Unfortunately, he's easy to get rid of, but losing 2 more Dawn to do that is not going to be worth it. So he'll probably stay on the board for a little while here. Let's get down to Izo. I guess we take the Crossfire in this regard, because Seaquake is probably not going to hit a lot of cards that he has unless I minus them quite a bit with Otama and Crossfire. Well, let's go ahead and get an attack in with Izo. Got 3 Dawn left here. This goes up to 5. Let's make him a 6. That way we can hope to get a 2k. Nice. Crossfire this, attack into it with Ace. I want to control the board a little bit here. I know he probably had some couple 2Ks in hands, so be it that if I attacked him, he would probably just guard it there. 8 Dawn right now. 9 Dawn, sorry. Math is hard. Alright, so this is where he clears my board. At least he should be clearing board here. Otherwise, we just get off 2 more attacks for the following turn. Yep. Unfortunately, he did get a blocker kid, so I have to work around that. So let's hope I can get like Flame Emperor or something. Jet Pistol works too. And see, he did have Law in hand. He was ready for it. Unless he just drew into that. I gotta think. Hold on, give me a second. If we Jet Pistol the kid, if we play Fire Fist down, or sorry, if we play Ace down, there's no guarantee that he blocks either of my attacks, and then he just takes the damage. And then both blockers stay on board. That's probably not the play. I think the play is probably to drop Jet Pistol, get rid of the kid, go 5 with Ezo. Okay, +1 is fine. So we had 2 laws in hand. Can I get a damage, please? No, I cannot. All right. But now we're looking real good. We got rid of 2 kids, 2 laws, 1 queen so far. I think this card is so good in Purple Luffy. King is very, very strong. It can remove pretty much every 4-drop in the game besides Borsalino, so I mean, it does its work. Hey, a Flame Emperor. We're actually going to use the trigger here. I think this would benefit us more to use the trigger to get rid of the law. And then that way we can play Whitebeard on the following turn here. Whereas instead we possibly could have just used the Flame Emperor to get rid of the law to do 2 damage to him. But we wouldn't have an attacker ready for the following turn, and we would be at 5k instead of 7k. Get a Jet Pistol. We're not going to do that. As much as I want to do this, we just lose 2 Dawn, and then we couldn't play Whitebeard. Alright, so our only play here is to drop Newgate. We go to 7. At leader. And then... Hold up. 2-4. He's got 9. We'll discard this. This way this is guaranteed. Unless he wants to get rid of both cards in hand. Nice. So we did get a trigger. Considering he's hesitating. Yep. I was trying to think what type of triggers that we generally play in Purple Luffy. So I don't know if that was a smart play by him to play that. It might have been better for him to keep it in hand as a 2k counter. So that's the 3rd kid, the 2nd queen. We've seen 2 laws already. He's got no active. Now he has no active Dawn. Okay, cool. I think he made a misplay there. You should have put that on Magellan. That way you got 2 attacks off here. You said I'm a 7k leader, but it's fine. And truthfully, we would have taken both those hits. Get a Marco. Let's go ahead and drop the Luffy and go for game. Nice. Let's go, boys. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and do one more game. Come back at you guys with Ace. We're playing into another Sakazuki, which is unfortunate, but it be what it be. I did say I feel like we are the Sakazuki killer, be it that Ace plays into it very, very well, but every player is a little bit different, so let's see what we can do here. We'll go ahead and take the Fire Fist from that, just in case we can use this for later on. But unfortunately, he knows that we have one, so he'll probably try to play around it. Discards Hina for leader effect to draw 1. Does he have the brand new? No, he doesn't have the brand new. Love to see it. Alright. Let's go ahead and draw for our turn. Another Fire Fist, so that kind of sucks. But we do have the guard point here as well. Let's go 5. I'm going to go 5 with Ace here too, and then we'll drop an Ezo. The reason being we don't drop Ezo first is because you got to play around Ice Age as well. Or any other trigger that they decide to run, because some decks I do know they run 3000 Worlds, so let's take Flame Emperor. Actually, we could go Ace for our curve, but I think Flame Emperor is just guaranteed damage if they don't have enough in hand to deal with it. Whereas Ace can be blocked with a blocker. This cannot, because we can blow up the blocker unless it's a Borsellino. And if it is a Borsellino, when we attack, he'll generally block with it. He has to pitch 3k counter to make it survive. So he removes the buggy. That's fine. There's a Borsellino here on board. Love to see it. I can't do anything about it, unfortunately, so that sucks. But I guess we'll go 4 here. And then we'll go 6 on Ace as well. That way, if he decides to block, he needs to give me counter to make the Borsellino stay alive. Gives me a 2k. Same thing here. Another 2k. Looking good, man. 5 cards left in hand. He did not see a brand new, which is very, very huge for us. Like I said, there are some times with Sakazuki that no matter how consistent the build can be, if they don't see all their pieces when they need to see all their pieces, it can be very difficult for them, depending on what deck they're playing against. He's up to 6 Dawn, discards an Ice Age for a leader effect. What do you draw here? Okay, so he's just going to attack into it. That's fine. I'd assume he wouldn't. Never mind. I guess he is going to attack a Borsellino. Fair enough. It was smart on his part to go 7, because if it had been 6 and we got a jet pistol, that'd been crazy. But instead we get a Flame Emperor, and considering it is a 7, we cannot pop it. So that was a good play on his part to play around it. Gets a brand new here as well. I think we just go for it. We pop the Rebecca. We could kill this, but I'd rather take 2 life from him if we can. Get rid of a Crossfire and go 9k. We did get rid of a lot of counter from his hand previously, so I figured this would have been free, so that's good. We got 4 life left. We have Edward Newgate in hand as well for next turn. There's a Mihawk. That might have been a mistake for him, but we'll see. Unless he has another Ice Age in hand, Whitebeard might stay alive for a little bit. Because technically he could have held that and probably discarded something else. If he does have Ice Age, he could have Ice Aged and in the Mihawk my Whitebeard, but that might have been worth it for him for 9 Dawn, but we'll see. Because what else do you play here? I'd assume you go defensive. Because he's in trouble if he doesn't. So there's 2 2Ks here. He shuffled some back in the deck with Rebecca. Or not shuffled, he bottom decked them, my bad. Hina and Sabo. That's good. That's good, because now I cannot get another Flame Emperor off on this turn, so we do have to play Whitebeard. There's no way he's attacking the Borsellino here either, right? So we got rid of Rob Lucci and a Borsellino here. I think our only play is to drop Newgate. Because I cannot kill anything with Flame Emperor to get the double attack, so I think we have to drop the Newgate. So that makes us go up to 7k. We get an attack in. He has to give me at least 2 cards. Alright, so goes up to 8k, gives me a 2k counter. Not bad. He's got 6 cards in hand, 10 Dawn. He should have enough to remove Whitebeard here on this turn. I need to draw into Luffy or Ace. I think those will probably let me win the game. If Whitebeard survives a turn, we take the next life for free, unless he blocks it. Is that 3 eruptions in a row? Are you serious? Yeah, 3 eruptions in a row. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4 eruptions in a row. How do you play around that, boys? Right? That's 4, right? That's 4. That's crazy, man. Like, what do you do? Oh, he's definitely not living this turn, so that sucks. So he discarded the eruption to basically draw into another eruption, I assume, and then the chain continued, so it be what it be. Goes on to 7. So that means he's going to be Hound Blazing the Newgate. We'll discard the Jozu here. So Hina gets off another attack here as well. Oh boy, 10k. Guess we have to take that one. Get a Jozu. Another Jozu. So now we're not looking too good. Let's go get rid of the Sabo. So now we just have to contend with the Borsalino here on board. Because now we can just Fire Fist the other two. And we'll probably discard the guard point to do that. Okay, so that's done. We go 8k here. And I think this is where the game should turn in our favor. Because if he decides to block with Borsalino, he needs to give me 3k counter to make it stay alive. And regardless now, he also needs to give me 3k counter. Or 4k, sorry. To not take a damage. It's 2. There we go, 3k. 4 cards left. I kind of want to take this. I think it's worth to just let it go instead of getting rid of 2 Jozus. So he gets back a Borsalino. Yep. Alright, hold on. Could Flame Emperor the Rebecca, right? We could also Marco the Rebecca. Let's Buggy first. Buggy gets me a Crossfire. That's all we can do in that scenario. Ace would have been nice as well, but Crossfire's not so bad. So let's go ahead and Marco, get rid of the Rebecca. And then we go 2, 3, 4. We'll hold out to 1 for the Radical Beam, just in case. Now again, he needs to give me 3k counter if he blocks with Borsalino, or he needs to give me 4k counter if he blocks from his life. So that's for free, take it. We got the Rad Beam, got 6k counter, 7k counter in hands. We're looking good, boys. He's got 4 cards left. There's a whole lot of stuff in this trash right now, which he doesn't have access to. I've only seen 1 Rob Lucci so far, I believe. I think just 1 run. I think just 1. English is hard today. We'll get rid of the Crossfire here with my leader effect to make me go 6k. There's a Rebecca. Gets a Hina from trash. There's a Rob Lucci. Oh man, you poor guy. He could not bottom deck it. So considering he can't bottom deck the Marco right now, it comes back because the effect, but the cost goes back to where it was before. I guess in this case, maybe get rid of the Rad Beam? Maybe? No, we go Flame Emperor. We definitely go Flame Emperor, yeah. Okay, so we'll get that back. So the only thing he can't attack with right now is Borsalino into the Marco, if he decides to throw 2 Dawn onto it. But if he does that, he loses the game for the following turn. He has no blockers here. Because we have 2 bodies on board. Hold up. Did he have the Hound Blaze? He might have had the Hound Blaze in hand. I sure hope he didn't have that in hand. It says he trashed it. So perhaps he did have it. Oh, yeah, he didn't know. Hey, well played. It be what it be. Yeah, it does. Now, let's say he did bottom deck it, right? We still have enough in hand to go for game here because we have Jozu and which Jozu is also a rush card. It doesn't come up often, but you know, in this situation, hypothetically speaking, if he bottom decked it, we could still win the game with Jozu, which is a little crazy, but we could have done it. Because now in the situation, we can actually drop a Marco to make myself stay a little bit safer here. And then Jozu would have came down, hit for 6k, been fine. Let's go 8. It's feeling like 8k is the magic number versus this leader. It's feeling that way. Because you got to get over the Borsalinos, who become 6k, and then with other 2k counter, it makes them an 8, and they have to discard one more to protect them. But we'll see. I think we've survived here. There's no shot he doesn't remove my Marco, beat the blocker one, somehow, some way. Let's go on the 7k. Okay, maybe he doesn't remove it. Let's counter out of this. I think we'll just go ahead and use our events here, and then save the 2Ks when we actually need to play them. Because he's got all that Dawn left to come up with the other attacks with Rablushi, and in case he actually decides to attack with Borsalino, that could be a problem. So we have 6k left, one blocker on board. We can revive back a Marco as well with Crossfire. What do you do? He trashed the Hina, the draw card. Okay. Rabluchi is definitely coming at me probably for like 8 or 9k if I had to guess. Suru. Bottom decks it. Fair enough. Never mind, he's coming in for 6k. Get rid of a Jozu here. The only way this would work is if he goes 8k with Sakazuki, right? 8k with Sakazuki. I take the hit. If it's a trigger, we pop the Borsalino. If not, he has to go all Dawn on Borsalino to try to attack me for game. So we're gonna block here for 9. I think if he would have went 9k there specifically, or 9 to 10k, he might have got a damage in. But that's just so much of a risk for him to have to take. What did he get there? Tashigi? Okay. Which is not bad, but I think he did quite well here. Get a Seaquake. It's not going to help me here. Let's go 7, 8. Get this damage in. Go 9. This will be guaranteed. And that's it, boys. But overall, we're going to dive back into the deck list. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. It's a lot of fun playing with Ace, I'll tell you what. But either way, this has been Pawseplays. Remember to smash that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe for future content when it comes to the channel. I will catch you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We'll come back at you guys with the exact same deck list, in which I'm going to talk about it, show you what changes I'm going to be making to the list, different variants and all that sort of thing. As you can see, the deck does still perform very, very, very well. I do have some adjustments I am making to it, and I've already made. Got deck testing out of the way for both variants. I do like this one, but I do think that my version 2, it will be a little bit more consistent, at least for my playstyle and what I'm looking for. This is my version 2 of Ace. We've opted to add in Zoros. I know at the end of the day, we don't have a lot of cards that we can play when we have 3 Dawn, and I feel like having an option to swing in with the Zoro would be pretty solid. This gives you an opportunity to get Zoro on board and become a pseudo blocker, let alone an attacker, because your opponent will try to get rid of this. And with, again, Sakazuki, a lot of cards, once they hit the board, they get removed. So at least Zoro gets instant value, which is pretty solid. And then we ended up taking out the 2 Machinos. So instead now we have 8 2k counters, which I'm up in the air of losing 1 Jozu to add in at least 1 more Seaquake or a Guard Point or a Rad Beam. But right now I think 8 2Ks is very consistent. We opted to take down 2 blocker Marcos and go up to max out the 5-drop Marcos here. And at the end of the day, we added in Fire Fist and 1 more Crossfire. I do think Crossfire is very, very good in Ace, be it that allows you to minus 4,000 power, which is pretty good. because it allows Marco to hit a lot of cards in the format. It allows your Fire Fist and Marco to hit a lot of cards in the format. You're pretty much wiping anything off on your opponent's board besides Borsellino. And speaking of Borsellino, that's why we kept in the Jet Pistols. This is why we kept in the Flame Emperors, because the triggers allows you to remove them. Fire Fist allows you to do the same thing. In any case, this is a list in which I've been working with. Hopefully you guys give them a shot. Let me know what you think about them. And again, this has been Pawseplays. Remember to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe for future content when it comes to all things One Piece. We will be doing live games as well, you know, i.e. like locals and all that sort of thing. That will be coming to the channel relatively soon. I'm looking at either Tuesdays, Sundays, and any other day of the week that I'm able to get out and do it, which is probably Friday, but we'll see how it goes. In any case, I will catch you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.